I mean, we'll have our glazed. Snow duck? I was like, holy shit. Oh my god.
I'm gonna be a woman again soon.
Wow.
That's happening, yeah.
Public schools.
But if something's going to be covered in a color,
I've never seen you naked.
it's gonna have a flavor.
Bless you, Fun Bridge.
That was pretty cool. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Donuts Is For Us. It's me, Andrew, and actually Melissa is here. She's off in the background here at the couch. I don't know if you want to...
Hello.
Yeah, you probably get picked up on there pretty well. I don't know if you caught the last episode. My buddy Jonathan Gutierrez was on. That was a whole bunch of fun. I know normally, typically the first few episodes it was just Melissa and I, but our schedules are crazy right now, and we're just balancing a lot of different stuff right now. So we really wanted to commit to bringing Donuts Is For Us back and trying to release it on a weekly schedule. And so far, so good, because today I have a special guest with me. You might be actually listening to this little podcast because you already know and love this guy yourself. Maybe he's the one that brought you over here. But anyways, he's been on Exoverse TV in the past. He does a bunch of podcasts on his own over the last few years. Derek Johns, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Cool.
I'm feeling way more special than normal. I wish my other past co-hosts talked to me the way you did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man. Yeah.
That's a cut, Jay. That's a cut, Jay. I'm gonna tell him to listen to this, and that's how it's done. That's how it's done.
But yeah, man, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
It's Friday, the 7th, which means that a new Shia LaBeouf movie came out today, right?
Was that today that it
That's
was?
today that's out, right?
Well, then it's got to be streaming.
Yes, it's available. I believe I saw something that... What's the name of this movie that I'm even referencing?
Tax Collector.
Tax Collector. Yeah, I saw that it was available, I believe, on demand.
Okay.
As of today.
Everything's subject to change, unfortunately, in Hollywood, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think I saw this last week, but you're absolutely right. It's possible that I'm not following the news as well as I could be. But yeah, so it is Friday here. We're done with a work week. We no longer work at the same office together.
No.
That's how we did get to know each other.
Let's see. Phone in the car.
Oh, shit. You want to go grab it?
Nope.
Oh. I can hit that space bar.
No.
Okay. But we worked in the same office for, was it 2 years?
Yeah, a little over.
Yeah, we were in the same unit for a couple of years, got to know each other, found out a bunch of stuff that we had in common. You had me on your Retox podcast a while back, and it was able to kind of inspire me to start trying to do some of this stuff on my own. That's how all of this stuff got started. But as of a couple of weeks ago, you have transferred to another office. We don't get to have those daily talks anymore, so this is a real special treat.
I actually have to work now.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking to you and glancing over, making sure I'm not getting in trouble.
And I have to try harder to pretend to work.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
You were originally the only guy in the unit.
Yeah.
Right? And now you're the only guy again.
Yeah.
And now I'm the only guy in my unit.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And we both feel...
Yeah. Bromance is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to be a woman again soon.
Wow.
That's happening. Yeah. That's what happens. You put me around a lot of
this
women.
Conversation took a turn.
Yeah. If you put me around a lot of women, I get very girly.
Yeah.
Yeah. My exes always said they were the boyfriend.
Hey,
Yeah.
Wait.
Not
what?
because they were boyfriends. But they just they felt like I was the girlfriend of the relationship. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Which
I get it though, man. I've worked with mostly women, most of my jobs, most of my life.
I'm a week away from saying, "Girl,"
Yeah.
it happened.
Oh, check that timestamp, 8:48.
August 7th. The girl was back.
Hey man, you were kind enough to bring Mr. T's Donuts today from Modesto,
Yes.
one of the most famous donut places in the area.
Yeah,
I think
I was
is
13th in the nation.
Is it?
Yeah.
13th?
In the nation.
In the nation.
You might fact check me on
Is
that,
it
but it's in there. It's in the teens.
And is this a chain?
No.
No. So
Just
that
just a
Modesto
mom and pop
location
shop, yeah.
is the 13th in the nation?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It may not be the exact 13th, but I believe it's in the
Okay.
teens.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah.
And you were saying that.
13th.
Yeah, I mean,
I wrote it in your Father's Day card.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, way to...
someone
Cool.
doesn't read their cards.
Wow. Thanks
Well-
for that. Good
well-
thing you're off mic. Maybe see if
I don't read
edit
mine
around
either.
that.
I don't read mine either, but in my defense, either someone writes too much or the 4-year-old isn't writing words. So
Oh, you know what? Is it this card right here?
the one you
Yes,
have right in front
Let's see what it is. What does it say here?
of you. Wait, look, before you even read the inside, what does it say on the back?
On the back?
Hallmark? She does love you.
Oh, shit.
Okay, you win.
It's such a beautiful card.
Quit kissing ass. Just see if she's
Trying
to make up
for number 1 in California and number 13 in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yep,
Wow.
13, I knew it.
Happy first Father's Day, my love, and many more. Aww.
Father's Day was in June. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, man. So
someone's getting some extra kisses tonight.
I'm in
And it's the dog, because you're sleeping out here with the dog.
I already sleep out on the couch most nights, so what the fuck happens to me now?
She goes, it's getting cooler outside.
Yeah.
There's always Mira's bedroom.
Mira just upgraded. Mira.
But you did give us fair warning when you
Yeah.
came in here today. You have a story behind
Yes.
these donuts.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's just donuts is in the title of the show. I was telling you. I feel like the first time you come on the show, you got to bring donuts. So I'm not doing it
And I'm
again.
not going to argue that.
I'm not
going to
do it again. I did.
Whoever wants to come on this program.
Yeah, I'm doing it. So I got them this morning. I got myself one. I'll be honest with you. I ate it for breakfast.
Nice.
I wasn't going to just sit here with donuts, smell them, and not put one in my mouth.
Can't do that.
So I got a
No one
dozen
would ever blame
plus
you.
one, which I think you just call a baker's dozen.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
But
Is that where that came from?
yeah, it's a baker's
Is
dozen.
it-
A baker's dozen is like, well, I'm going to have 13.
Yeah.
I'm going to make one for me. Yeah. But so I ate one on the way here, but in the morning. But it was separate, so it was never even in the box. This box is not open since the lady gave it to me. Now, I worked an 8-hour shift, and my car was in a parking lot, and it was not cool today.
Oh.
So, I was telling you, the good news is it went from one heating station and just went to another.
Yeah.
I'm sure the donuts probably still taste very fresh.
Yep.
I don't know how I might be making that up.
Yeah.
But
I'm not concerned with I'm not concerned at all with these donuts.
the
but-
outside, the toppings, whatever's on the donuts, I don't even remember everything I got. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be.
It could be one donut now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it could just.
Yeah.
But donut is already plural. No, donuts. No, I'm not gonna do that. But anyway.
Do you remember that? Do you
Not gonna
remember
go-
that Universal Studios donut that the Simpsons
Oh,
donut
yeah.
that we tried to bring back
It
with
was
us, and what that was like by the time.
Face.
I did take a picture after. Oh man, I didn't look. And I feel bad because they're so busy all the time. They're just, hey, what do you want?
Yeah.
But like nicer than that. I'm not gonna. They're actually sweet people. I just made us sound like the soup Nazi from Seinfeld. No, they're super sweet. I can help them next, whatever. But like, I want to hurry up for them.
Yeah.
So I didn't like look at everything, and I realized their whole. When I went to go buy, I walked all the way to the end. They had a rack, whole tray of cinnamon rolls, which every place has cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
But it looked like one cake with frosting on top. And then I realized the sign said cinnamon rolls, and then looked closer, and there is little indentations, like there's singular ones just all sitting next to each
Oh.
other, but they just frost them all at once.
I see.
And it was just a lot. And I took a picture of it, but I left my phone in the car, so I'll show you later.
Nice.
And it wouldn't make sense to the listeners anyway, because you can't see.
True.
But that's not for you.
Yeah.
The picture was for them. You're already getting a show. Quit being greedy.
Yeah. Have some patience with
yeah.
me here. Video will come shortly.
Yeah. It's listen to the title. It's not for you.
Donuts is for us.
For us.
The rest of the stuff is for you guys.
So demanding.
Literally,
I see
literally the point.
I see why they taper off with the show every once in a while. I can see why. God, you're so demanding. But yeah, I'll show you guys the picture later. Maybe he could share it. I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah,
you could do that.
I wanted
Follow
to
us on Instagram.
get plug. IG for the cinnamon rolls
Yeah.
that no one will get.
No context cinnamon rolls.
I wanted to buy the whole tray though. Like, and I was already like, no. Guess what? You don't even get to hear us open the box and our first impressions.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so
He's going to say technical issues. I said it. I did it on purpose. I'm sharing this with them.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, once again, I don't know if anybody caught this in the last episode, but once again, I'm still running into some odd technical issues here that... so, we lost a chunk of audio here, and we're back. But anyways, just to explain the no context, cut in, cut out. Point is, we talked up and over-dramatized the reveal of the Mr. T's donuts because we were thinking it was going to be some ridiculous melted mess.
The monster donut.
But Mr. T's knows exactly what they're doing. The concoction was perfect, and of course we opened this thing up and they look like just 12 beautiful, delicious donuts.
Yep.
So
they look fantastic.
yeah, it would have been a great moment to capture on audio. Thank you very much.
Once again, it's for us.
Windows. I don't really know who to blame on this one. I don't really know if this is something I'm not setting up right on this podcast equipment or what. But hopefully I can get these bugs out. Anyways, back to it though, man. Let's talk some fucking stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know, we got the intro out of the way. It's awesome to have you here.
We did a very private donut reveal.
Yep. And but you know, first of all, I mentioned earlier that one of the reasons why we became friends is because we had a fun talking about movies and TV and stuff like that. I'm trying to bring back the Exoverse TV podcast. What have you been watching recently?
Oh my goodness! Since the pandemic started.
Yeah. So like March?
Yeah, work's slowed down, and then there was even over a month where I worked from home. I got to telecommute. I watched so much Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, Amazon Prime, regular TV, nothing. Like, I watched my mind go. I watched so many. I think at one point I was on 13 shows within 3-4 weeks. Yeah, I think a whole month. The whole 4 months.
That you were currently...
I binged watched.
Oh, you had. Okay.
Yeah, I just binged watched.
And you only did one at a time?
One at a time.
Okay.
Oh, no. Sorry. 2 at a time.
Oh, wow.
Because I kept those shows I watched at work separate from the ones I watched afterward.
Nice.
So I didn't have that same work mentality.
Yep.
I was just like, you know what? That's my work show. I'm gonna leave that for work. I'm gonna go home, have my home show. Which, when I mean go home, I'm gonna go in the other room. Like, I'm just gonna turn this computer off, go onto the other computer.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I watched a lot, man. Too much. Like, I burnt out.
Wow.
Like, actually, and it's never happened before. But
like, did you find yourself not even retaining like what you would just watch in the episodes, or was it just not?
It got to the point where I was just like, everyone's like, well, what shows did you watch? I'm like,
you start naming some.
Yeah.
They'll come back to me.
Yeah, name what shows you want to watch. I'll tell you I watched it. Yeah. And that's how it went. But yeah, I'm currently in the middle of a couple shows right now. Shameless has their last season out on Netflix now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
the final, like they know it's the.
It's either the final or it's the one that was just done and their final's about to be on television.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm not exactly sure how it works. But then I'm also now watching that documentary, The Last Dance, with Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay. Is that a series?
Yeah, 10
Oh,
episodes.
okay.
It's really well done.
Okay, I saw. I didn't know it was on Netflix. Did it just show up there from somewhere else?
It was I believe it was like HBO Showtime
Okay.
or something. Some
Yeah,
other.
because I would not have waited this long to check it out. I just saw yesterday that it was there.
Yeah, it's something to watch. It
I'll
really
probably
is.
check that out this weekend then.
It's almost nostalgic too, because like I wasn't big into basketball at the time, but at the same time, everyone was into Jordan
Yeah.
when we were kids. That 97.
Oh
98.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was definitely the biggest name.
Yeah.
In sports when I was a kid, and I was not into much of anything at that when I was a young kid.
But yeah, when I was really young, I would have shirts that say 23 on it, and I don't even know what that meant. And they weren't even necessarily Bulls or Jordan shirts, but they had 23 on it. and because that's just the number to put.
Transcended sports, basically. That's exactly what people mean. It's just like you didn't need to watch basketball to know who the hell Jordan was.
Yeah, so it was nostalgic, but at the same time, not for the reasons it should be for me, because I wasn't like a basketball NBA fan.
Right.
I was little. I was out playing. I was outside playing basketball. I wasn't necessarily watching it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's still nostalgic at the same time, because you're just like, oh my god, my parent dressed like that. Oh my god, we used to go outside looking like that. These adults did anyway. Oh.
I'm looking forward specifically to just seeing, like, to me there's like a weird metric you can put on camera quality, the footage quality, and that puts me in. It's almost it's similar to when maybe a particular album is like a soundtrack to a season of a certain age you were. That footage quality will bring so many other things back that I have no idea what they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I would look forward to watching an old documentary like that.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be.
Good.
I mean, it probably has some heavy stuff in it. I know that he was controversial in the fact that he like rubbed some people the wrong way.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy because a lot of people are telling me, like, yeah, I've watched it, and he's kind of a dick, and I'm watching it, and I'm more than halfway through it, and I'm just like, no more than
you just see somebody with ambition.
Yeah, he's more of a dick than a lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
If not, there's more celebrities now getting in trouble because they were dicks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ellen.
Yeah, man. What is going on with that? Have you followed that?
Apparently, she's just not the nicest on set, but...
Is that really about
I don't know if it's her set.
Yeah.
Look at her history in entertainment. She was a comedian, in the closet comedian, then everyone kind of knew, but she just didn't come out yet.
Yeah.
And then she had a show that got canceled because she decided to come out, even though they knew she was gay, but because she came out publicly, she loses her show.
Yeah.
Maybe not exactly like that, but pretty much.
Was that early 2000s or?
I don't know. I think it was 90s.
That far back?
Yeah, I think so. And then now she has, dude, she's gone through so much now. And now she's got her own show. She's been doing it for years. It's a routine every day. And yes, she's fun, and yes, she has great chemistry with the guests and everything like that. But at the same time, it's still a job.
Yeah.
You're gonna get irritated. You're gonna get, and if you see the same people every day and they're slipping up or making mistakes, and you're gonna get on them, or be kind of jerky maybe sometimes. No one has not every employee you ever deal with is nice.
Yeah.
This one just happens to be Ellen.
Yeah.
But what she's dealt with her entire career. Fuck it. Let her yell at people.
Yeah. I don't know enough about what any...
I don't know. Cussing-wise. You cool with that?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to give shit.
Okay, cool. Fuck
it. No,
it.
yeah. But we don't... I don't...
My mom watches this.
No. I don't think my family gives a shit about any of this.
I think my mom thinks podcasting is like a garden group. Like a garden club. We're going to go podcast. Oh, how's that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Horticulture.
Yeah.
Is that used to be 4-H?
Yeah. That or it's, I don't even know what she thinks, but it's not what she thinks it is.
Yeah. What the hell was I? Oh, the Ellen thing. I mean, I don't know enough about what people are really accusing her of, but I've heard other podcasters that apparently know what these accusations are explain that it really seems like it's so far with what people had said up to this point that it's just people that are maybe caught off guard that she's not as nice as she is on camera. Yeah. You can't fault somebody for not being your character, and you see in the civilian dimension of space like that, you see people do that to each other, where you'll see somebody give a comedian shit for saying something serious, like, oh, just make me laugh, like funny man, you know what I mean? So I think it's probably similar to that, where it's like, she's nothing like she is when the cameras are rolling. And it's like, you don't have the energy to be like that all the time.
Dude, if she was like that all the time, it's like, oh, it'd be exhausting. A lot of people don't realize like
And you wouldn't
entertaining.
buy it.
Entertaining.
You know?
Entertainment is also it's. I don't want to say a facade, but there's an entertainment persona everyone has. She's as soon as she gets on camera, she has to entertain. So she's going to be entertaining. Every time she's on stage doing stand-up, she has to be entertaining.
Yeah.
If she's not on camera, she's not on stage, she can be however she wants to be. Now, I'm not saying she should be a dick or rude
Right.
or verbally abusive or whatever. But at the same time, you can't say, well, she's not that way on the show. It's like, if she was, you wouldn't watch her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ugh.
But Steve Harvey had the same predicament, as far as I understand, because like I said, I don't know what the Ellen accusations are, but from what I remember, he kind of had, there was this thing that went out to all of his staff that were telling them like not to interact with him as much in the hallways. I don't know the exact phrasing. Maybe it was a little harsher than that, but that was the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it became this story that like he's this dick who won't allow people to look him in the eye and talk to him. But what he was trying to express to people was that on these days of the week when I'm doing 4 different shows, I need to preserve my energy for the stage, and I'm not going to be able to stop and interact with everybody. And you know, and you can imagine a guy like that. He got pushed to a point where he had to say that to people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe she is in trouble because she didn't do that. She was actually trying to be more open door policy, and then was a little gruff with some babies.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, I would give her the benefit of the doubt that it's likely that, because she seems to be acknowledging from the little bit that I have followed that story, she seems to be acknowledging that yes, there's a problem and we're gonna fix it.
And everyone has very few people that in their life that they're going to be their raw, real, maybe relaxed, or they're going to be a certain way, but those people understand it. The most, like you two. You guys, as soon as you guys walk in this door, the outside stuff, you want to leave out there, but it may trickle in.
Yeah.
You know, but you guys understand that. You guys, okay, you're bad day or whatever like that. But at the end of the day, you two understand and love each other, all this stuff. And there's a lot of people in their like family. They understand that. Some friends, like, yeah, dude, just vent it out. You know, or hey, you don't have to do this. You don't have to act a certain way. You don't have to be a certain way because, you know, I get you. Yeah. You know, I want you to be relaxed. I went to visit my friend in Missouri one time, and I went out there, and I do podcasts. I do, you know, and I was acting quite a bit more than.
Oh yeah, we are going to get into that, by the way.
Yeah,
Putting
no
a pin
worries.
in the acting thing because I got some questions.
Yeah,
there.
I did. I was doing more acting at the time. I had a day job. I might have had 2 at that time. I don't know, but I keep myself pretty busy. I try to, at least. And so I have an entertaining personality. I like making people laugh. I like making people enjoy themselves. But, you know, whenever I go to a party like or an event, whatever, I want to make sure everyone's having a good time, even if it's not my event. You know, it's just, and I'm not trying to steal the thunder or everything, but I'm also trying to be like, hey, if they say you had a good time at your thing, it doesn't matter if I'm the one that, you know, helped it or not. It was your event. You threw a great event. And we all had fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not trying to steal people's thunder or be like the funniest, best person to be around. But when I go visit my friend in Missouri, it's like shutdown. Like he's cool. We would just sit there, relax. We do nothing.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "What'd you do in Missouri?" Nothing. You didn't go do anything? No. Me and my friend just vegged out. He took the week off from work. You know, the kids went over to the I got to see the godkids and all that, but they go over to the grandparents' house, and me and him just bro out and do nothing, eat a bunch of food, drink beers, and do nothing.
Nice.
And that's my vacation. And then I don't have to make him laugh. We make each other laugh naturally. I don't have to try.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to. I'm not putting on a show. You know, it's just the natural thing, whatever with us. But yeah, so I think people are allowed to have that. And if someone goes, well, oh my goodness, Ellen is actually rude, you're not that person in her life to where she could, you know, like she's not trying to cater to you. And if you don't like her rawness, it's not for you. Just do your job and or let her be herself. You worry about you.
Yeah.
If she's abusive, that's a little different. But,
Right.
You know.
But you would also imagine that if it was something as clear or as I don't know, as serious as abuse, that it could be that they would just be then referred to as that,
right?
And and then there would be details that would, like, because I think that's I feel like there's something to pay attention to, that it's also vague. It's like there's a reason behind that, is because they don't really have anything to accuse her of. They just don't like something.
Like, you know what? She's not nice. She's nice to everybody on TV, but she's not nice to me. Ah, boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Well, it's a job. You're at a job.
Whine a lot?
You're colleagues. You're not friends.
Yeah.
Now, if she's abusive, and based on, like I said, everything she's gone through in her career, all the backlash she's taken, or not backlash, but literally like dismissal, really, because of her lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, fuck it. I'm not saying anybody with that same situation gets to be a dick, but at the same time, like, it's more understanding.
Yeah. You know what? That was the other point of, I think it was Andrew Schultz. I think it was his podcast where they said something similar to that. They were like, anyways, it was similar to that, where they were just saying that, well, we basically, we wrapped it up. I really, I don't really want to. We weren't really. I don't want to fan those flames or whatever. Obviously, we're just curious about.
This wasn't a direction we were going to go.
No, it wasn't on the notes.
This is definitely off topic. But.
Hey, so to wrap up the TV thing, we were talking about what you're watching.
Oh,
The Boys season 2 is coming back. Did you like the first season?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to put something together with I would love it to finally start timing these things out a little bit better. Because Exoverse TV started as it was episode by episode a Game of Thrones review, but it started in the final season of Game of Thrones. Yeah. And so I think it might have even been a little bit confusing to people who were trying to figure out what the hell I was trying to do there, because it was not a Game of Thrones podcast. It's just that it started out...
we're going to cover shows.
Yeah, we were just going to cover shows. And the only other show that we ended up doing after Game of Thrones was Barry, which is also coming back. So that's fun. But the timing has just been... it's been a conundrum. But the cool thing is we're kind of at this point where there's a lot of second and third seasons of some stuff, of some really, really good shows out there coming back. So I'm hoping to invite some people on to talk about The Boys. Mandalorian season 1 review would be cool to try and schedule before this next one comes out. I just finally started getting into the Umbrella Academy. Have you watched any of that?
I watched the first season.
Okay.
I haven't watched the second season.
I haven't. Yeah, I'm only on episode 5 of this first season. And
I'll talk to you after you finish it.
Okay, well, because I'm very pleasantly surprised with, like, I'm kind of disappointed with myself for not giving it a real good chance. But who knows? Who knows how I'll feel by the end of.
I don't want to give you excitement, but I don't want to give you disappointment. Like, I'm not.
You're playing it smart.
I'm not giving you any emotion. We'll discuss it when you're done.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I'm excited about that one. That's about the only one I'm really watching at the moment, and then I'm going to get into that Last Dance one. But that's not really one you really need to bother reviewing. It's just.
Oh, it's all over the place time wise too.
Yeah.
So it goes back, but it plays with you that way. Starts at, like, you'll be in 98, then all of a sudden you're in 84, and then you're in 93, and then you're back in 91, and you go back to 98, and it's just like, it's really
The Last Dance, you mean?
Yes, The Last Dance.
Because that's how the Umbrella Academy is too.
True. But yeah, so it's kind of all over the place, but it's done based on what's happening.
I see.
So it's just like, here's a familiar emotion back there.
Right.
Yeah, so
then this might make you think of that time that he went and played baseball for 2 years or whatever.
Yeah, but it also gives you a bunch of cliffhangers. Like, oh, what's happening about here? Well, we'll get to that. But first, let's go talk about this. Yeah. So it's kind of...
Insert clever girl.
Yeah. I can't do a rap.
I just rewatched the Jurassic Park movies, the 3 first ones.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe how I still feel like Jurassic Park was huge, but it still somehow feels underappreciated to me because of what they've done to the recent one, like recently to the franchise, to the story. It just makes me feel like, oh yeah, nobody understood what this one was. So what this first one was, what it was supposed to be, and they nailed it. And then I remember loving at the time when it came out The Lost World, and then rewatching that one, I just kind of like I started to feel like you were saying your new work chair is causing you to kind of just like slump forward. It's happening to me. It's a little bit of like this depressed, like, oh no, it's not quite how I remember. It's closer to the third one than the first one. The
funny part is, like, if you go back and watch movies like that, it's like, why do they keep doing this? It's just like, oh, this is the country we live in. But we're gonna do this. Is there possible money on it? Yeah. People could die.
It really is kind of ridiculous what the premise of the second one even is. That and it's acted oddly too. Like I was completely taken out of the film in the beginning where Hammond talks Malcolm of the Lost World, talking him into going to Site B, which really doesn't talk him into it. He just finds out that, oh, I already sent your girlfriend, by the way. You know what I mean? But Malcolm storms out to go do this rescue mission now, and frickin' John Hammond turns around to the camera and counts on his fingers how big his team is now, and I'm just like, who was that for? Like, I was instantly I was angry at the film.
See, moments like that is like, how much money are we pay him? We pay him that much?
Yeah,
a couple more shots.
Yeah, that's true.
What does he want him to do? I don't know. Just he can improvise.
Better choose some scenery here.
And I think that's honestly what they're doing with Chris Pratt in these. There's almost no point for him to be in the second one.
Yeah.
And then the Lost World 2, whatever it was called.
Yeah, what was that one called?
I don't know.
Was that Fallen Kingdom, or is that...
Might have been Fallen Kingdom.
Okay.
But, man, he just had smolders. He did a few smolders in the first one that looked good. But then the second movie was just smolder.
Just smolder.
And it's just like, stop. Fix your face. And don't get me wrong, love Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's great. I just don't... I think this was also a less funny movie.
Yeah.
There was way less humor in this one.
Oh, yeah.
It was more just like, let's be sad for the dinosaurs.
But it's not even meant to be the end, right? Is there still another one?
Yep, they're shooting it right now.
Wow.
This one will probably be the last one.
Okay.
Like, last one.
And
the original
one,
cast. Original cast is coming back.
Or like Disney last one, where they're like, this is the last one, but then don't worry, we'll just start over with Site C.
I think it's the last one because it made a lot of money, but it didn't have the same impact as the first three.
Okay.
The third one of the first original series was still bad, but had more of an impact because it was part of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Where this one is just like, Lost World did good, this one didn't do as good, and it's also just copying the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we've seen this.
Yeah.
And they threw a little story about a little girl in it that I don't really care for and could have done without.
Oh, yeah.
See,
I forgot.
Yeah, as you should.
It's coming back to me now, but oh my goodness, the whole, I'm made with dino DNA.
Yeah. I don't think that was an exact line, but but no, it just wasn't as good. I don't think kids are as into it as we were for the first three. But then again, movies right now and their cartoons are just so much more epic than what we had before. So their kids are harder to entertain.
Speaking of epic and epic conclusions, and this actually ties into one of the directions I was going to go here is Star Wars, man. The Star Wars saga is over. I'm sorry, I should say the Skywalker saga is
is it?
Well,
apparently they're recutting the last three movies.
Recutting them?
Yeah.
Okay, so explain this to me because
this isn't something I'm 100% in knowledge of. Like they told me,
but
me and Adam Driver talked about it last week. No.
But before you do go into this, the reason I said I wanted to touch on this is because you do a bunch of other podcasts.
I do two currently.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. But there's going to be, I got some coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of those is expected to be
a Star Wars
themed podcast. So, I'm very curious to I'm excited for that, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to listen to that one. And yeah, I am curious to pick your brain and see what you thought of the conclusion of this Skywalker saga. But now it looks like there's even more to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, well, we could still discuss it. It's just from a friend who he sent me some links a while back. I could probably find them and send them to you or ask him for them. But there's a lot of, because the last trilogy was not liked by most, I would say. And they were supposed to be done a different way, but because someone in charge had a lot of say, but the person who's in charge, a lot of people don't agree with or dislike, and from my understanding, this person's on the way out.
Yeah.
They're recutting it. They're doing it how it was supposed to be, or how they're saying it was supposed to be, because not many could really know for sure. I know the actors weren't happy with it, and they aren't where they thought their characters were told they were going to be.
The supposed to be is based on what people thought when they were initially planning with J.J. Abrams, the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because apparently there was a story arc written out.
Oh, yeah.
First one came out. Old fans weren't in love with it. New fans were. So they changed things. Second movie was changed quite a bit. Old fans still weren't in love with it, but some switched. Some were like, okay, felt more familiar. But then some people that were already liked episode 7 didn't like it. So they switched things again. And then there was also some controversy of like certain characters they didn't like, or didn't like directions that looked like they were going. And there's a bunch of fan-based theories, pages, and stuff like that where they do fan tellers, and this is how I think they actually listen to that. So they're trying to please people, but also try to keep you guessing or try to surprise you with certain things. Yeah. So the third movie, I feel like it didn't really hit a lot of people, and they were trying to do a lot of fan service.
Yeah.
They were trying to do a lot of fan service, and I just don't... They obviously didn't hit it on the head, and for some people involved to say that the Emperor was always supposed to be, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, it's your fault, the villain, the overall villain. So the surprise villain, he was always supposed to be. But a lot of actors didn't know that.
Yeah.
So if the actors didn't know until they read the script, then he wasn't supposed to always be. It's been a change. I think it's because they were falling. They needed to bring old fans back, so they brought the Emperor in. I don't know if that's true, but that's what it felt like.
And you know what's interesting is it did feel that way to me as well, and I don't love that. However, I guess I do feel, and I'm in that camp of people who, when The Last Jedi came out, I felt like Disney was telling me to move on, and that Star Wars wasn't for me anymore.
Yeah.
And that we're aiming this at a different crowd, and we're kind of doing it retroactively, so you should feel stupid for having shown up here today. Yeah, and that's kind of what I felt like when I saw that one.
I agree and disagree, unfortunately, with that methodology.
But to defend that decision-making style where to be fair, nobody knew Vader was Luke's father until the movie premiered. There was like 10 people that knew that. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's kind of like there is a precedent set where it's like, this isn't something that we're not trying to stay true to some comic book that was written 50 years ago and follow it page by page. They are probably granted some license there to do some of that, but doesn't it feel like they did too much of it?
Yeah, I agree, and I think another unfortunate side of it is we have two toddler-esque battling directors. We have Abrams, who said he kind of built a blueprint for where the other two should go.
Yeah.
And then Rian Johnson came in and said, F that, I'm going to do my own thing. And, well, you should still follow some type of blueprint. You can change things, but you have to remember it's been set up.
Yeah, and I don't think your audience should feel you doing that.
Yes,
in the middle of the scene.
If it all of a sudden, the great thing about episode 4, 5, and 6 is they could have been the same director and you wouldn't even known it.
Yeah,
they could have.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, there was different directors, different producers. They all felt the same. They felt the same.
Yeah,
these movies did not. Yeah. Same theme, same story, but there was it kind of seems, instead of like a fluid, like snake-like roller coaster ride, we're taking turns.
Yeah.
We're like jagged turns and like realigning.
Yeah.
And
almost just for the sake of seeing people's reaction to that.
And
then, it's
yeah.
not as much about a good story.
Yeah. And then for J.J. Abrams to come back and say, no, I'm going back and I'm undoing things he did, you're being children.
Yeah.
Because now you're not just arguing with each other and messing with each other's work. You're messing with our fandom stories.
Yeah.
I don't care about your argument. I don't care if you guys don't like what you guys do with each other. Follow a path. Agree that it's like, okay, JJ should have came back and said, okay, well, damn it. He didn't necessarily follow my blueprint, but I'm going to go along with the blueprint that's now been created by both of us.
Yeah. That's
been altered, and go off with that. No, he literally went, no. Snoke is not the villain.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh. Okay.
I like the
well, because they could have. I mean, I know Snoke dies in the second one, but Snoke could have still been. There could have been something played with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of things in the Force we don't know.
But it's damage control too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, well, they decided to kill him.
Yeah.
And
that. But also, you have to realize we also have someone behind the helm of these two first and second mates, letting them do this.
Yes.
And that's the huge thing. There was no leadership behind the so-called leadership.
Right.
Where she should have been like, nope, nope, nope. But then her mentality is, well, let's see where it goes. Okay, well, what did fans think?
Yeah.
You know,
and you can't go by... And
you're not going to please everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine to look at it and kind of like, you know, if people predicted what the story would be, it's not a reason to change the story. It's a reason to be more cryptic in the marketing leading up to the movie. Mm-hmm. It's a reason to feel confident that you've written a really good story because people guessed it right and they still want to see it. Mm. You know, I mean, some of these suggestions I'll see from people, it's like you can see them almost trying to audition for a writing job and they don't know how to be a writer, so they just come up with the most ridiculous twist that there possibly could be, and then you read it and you're like, you want to look them in the eye and say, okay, yeah, but then if this happened on screen, would you like it? Yeah. Or are you just like, well, we need to do something that you wouldn't guess. Yeah. So let's just find out randomly that Admiral Akbar he's a secret Jedi and he ends up like reintegrating himself back into a being and he saves the day in the third one, and it's like, why would he show back up? Yeah. Well, because everything else is predictable, and it's like, well, some stuff might be predictable because if it's good, it should really only go in one of these three directions.
Right. The 1 through 6, it never felt like there was competing directors. It really just felt like, what's the story? Okay, I'll try not to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Where these ones are like, I'm going to make the best Star Wars movie ever. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You can't.
You're right. That is how it feels, is that they were like, I want this one to be the one you think of when you think Star Wars.
And if the plan for all three trilogies is to just reformat the original trilogy, then you're not going to make the best one because you're just copying something that we already did.
Yeah.
You're already copying the format.
Yeah, so then who are you aiming those movies at? Literally only people that you think are going to become diehard fans, but then also who didn't watch the first 6 movies? Yeah.
It's just confusing. And so anyway, the recut's supposedly happening with possibly Jon Favreau.
I love Jon Favreau, but
and then
that sounds like such a headache.
But Clooney is going to be the behind the scenes. Or not Clooney, Lucas.
Oh.
Different George. Different George.
God.
I was talking about Clooney earlier with somebody else.
Thinking about like Obi-Wan Kenobi with those hard nipples through his robe.
Dude. Hey. There's a reason why he was
Schumacher cuts.
number one sexiest man for so many years. You know, I think the bat nips helped.
That's so funny.
But anyway, so not George Lucas.
George Lucas.
He's going to be the puppet master. He's going to be behind he's going to be helping.
So that it can be like poetry and rhyme.
Yeah. So recuts maybe coming soon.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm interested, but it sounds like such a nightmare to be a part of.
Yeah. I'm a huge. I personally don't like. It's like, we'll just pretend those three didn't happen. I can't.
Yeah, that's
you know
weird.
why? Because I paid to go see them. I experienced it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend it didn't happen just because people didn't like it.
And the only
there were parts of it I did like. And
then the only reason why the new ones are being made is because of what happened. So, I mean, it's just you're asking somebody to just. Isn't it enough that I'm in love with this Star Wars universe? Isn't that enough of a fantasy life? Why would I also pretend that those other movies weren't made?
Yeah, those three movies could be shit. That's not changing my love for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now, and it's funny because you brought up earlier that mentioning that you don't want to have to succumb to or forfeit the belief of, well, they're not made for me.
Right.
And I've done that with so many things because there's so many remakes of things. This isn't a remake.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have to forfeit that it's not for you because it's not a remake.
Yeah, I mean, this is coming from somebody who I love the Ewok movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is not...
You shouldn't, but you do.
Yeah. So, I mean, don't worry, this is not coming from somebody who feels like, that movies should be aimed at my age group to be worth anything. Yeah. Like, I understand the difference between, like, I can appreciate a good kids movie. You know what I'm saying? It's not about whether or not it's aimed at me. It's like feeling somebody say it to me is what's so upsetting.
No, I love your love for the Ewoks movie so much because it really just feels like everyone's just like, yes, Sesame Street, Jim Henson's great. She's like, yeah, but you watch Fraggle Rock? And I know there's a lot of Fraggle Rock fans out there.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry you lived that life. But it's not anywhere close. Like Return of the Jedi. Ewok scenes, awesome.
Yeah.
Ewok movie. It didn't have to happen. I know I watched them. As a Star Wars fan, I love them. You have a love on a different level.
Dude, that second one, that Battle for Endor, fucked me up.
Do you know how many people are like, there was two?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the Ewok Adventure, say what you will. I understand. I get it. This is early 80s, made-for-TV movie. You got people trying to act like they're afraid of giant rubber spiders and all this kind of stuff. I understand it is corny, but it's not made for you.
There's some fans out there, or a different fandom out there is like, they were gonna make a live action Care Bear, but fucking Star Wars came out, and now we got these damn Ewoks. It wasn't even good.
Yeah.
Bring me some Care Bears.
Yeah. And
live action Care Bear, by the way, that should happen.
By the way, the second one, shout out to R.I.P. Wilford Brimley, who played Noah in Battle for Endor. Okay, so you want to talk about casting? Did I say Wilford Brimley? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, all-star casting in the Battle for Endor.
I mean, not at that time.
One of the most heart-wrenching opening sequences
that no one watched.
It made
I know hardcore Star Wars fans are like,
it's real to me, damn it.
I know hardcore Star Wars fans are like, I can't. I know. Have you watched it? He's like, no.
Hey,
no.
I'll defend it till the day I die, man.
And in this world, in this fandom, needs that.
Yeah.
Because
hey, hire me to I'll write
the next trilogy of Ewoks.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just round it out. I'll just write the third one. We'll just put I'll look up. I don't know who that. See if I can look up the actress who played the little girl, Sindel. I think her name was Sindel.
Oh god.
Brother's name was Mace. thought that was the coolest name in the world when I was 5 years old or whatever the hell that was. When that movie came out.
You're gonna find them and they're like, oh, you mean the thing that almost ruined our careers? No. Yeah, enjoy.
Yeah, I just get slapped with a restraining order.
And then you just listen. I'm trying to give you an opportunity. You know we can CG your face. Ask Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace. Yeah, I made myself sad because you can't ask her. But no, yeah. So, like I was saying, that I have other fandoms. Ninja Turtles is up there, big time.
Yeah.
And whew, big time.
Yeah.
And since the 1980s, there's been multiple cartoons. Multiple. So they all start over. It's not continuation. They're all reboots. They all start over.
Yeah.
So
well, they get that comic book treatment, like like Marvel and everything, where it's very accepted that it's like this is going to be different than any of the other versions.
The 1987 is my favorite. Is it easy to watch now? No, it's not an easy watch now. But it's still nostalgia. That's my Ninja Turtles.
The 87 animated series?
Yeah, animated cartoon. Now then there's the next one didn't happen until I want to say 2003.
Oh, wow.
And then 2015 or no, 12 or 15. 2012 I think. And then the new one just started this last year.
Okay.
In 2019. And for me, I still love them because they're the Ninja Turtles, but I can't watch them every episode. I like it's very. I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
So they're trying to reach the younger crowd.
Yeah.
They do a lot of tip of the caps for the old fans. And I've always, whenever there's a new one coming out, I'll start watching the first few episodes. They do a little tip of the cap. I'm gonna proceed.
Yeah.
And I don't have to watch it from there.
Yeah.
I don't, and because it's not for me. Because I'm not 7.
Yeah.
I'm not 5 to 12. They're not trying to capture my. So when people, I follow a lot of pages that are Ninja Turtle fan pages.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, oh, worst one. And
And then you look at his profile and he's 46 years old.
Exactly. I won't even get these collectible action figures. Just like, okay, well, you probably did, but still.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's like...
I mean, you returned them.
It's like, we shouldn't even call this a Ninja Turtle show. I was like, it's not for you.
Yeah.
It's not for you. Okay, like, and if you should be happy that another generation gets to share and love. It may not be the same, but if they watched our cartoon, they're going to be like, oh, why is this old cartoon on here?
Right.
It's not going to be referenced the same. It's not going to be looked at the same. We're a different generation. Where minds are different speeds now too.
Yeah.
The kids that.
God, yes.
So it's faster animation. It's faster,
Adventure Time makes me feel so fucking old.
Yeah. Because
I'm just like, oh, this is too. It's so much happening. So many jokes in the last 14 seconds. And
man, I lived with a lot of roommates down in LA, and they'd watch that shit all the time. And I'm just like, why are we watching this? They're like, I don't get it. Why are you all laughing? You have to be high, man. And I was like, okay,
no.
If you have to be high to watch something, ugh.
Yeah, and I don't see. You would think that would have.
That's also then not for me.
Yeah,
but it's like I like to watch things sober too.
They're only getting high so that then they're only catching one joke per minute, and they can keep up. Yeah. It doesn't help them catch more jokes or make more sense of the show. It's just so that so I don't have to pay attention to all the crazy shit that's happening.
Yeah, no, but so to get with that, like back to Star Wars, I was using it. Star Wars is different because you're trying to bring new people in, but also trying to cater to the people that are still here.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. And there has to be, and a lot of that stuff is untreaded. What was it? What am I trying to say? Untreaded waters. Mm-hmm. It was probably. Of course, it's just one of those huge things that it's impossible to please everyone, but that's the whole point, is it's impossible to please everyone, so that's not why you make a movie.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. There's multiple camps here. It's not just people who liked it and people who hated it. There's also just these people who are like left wondering, really, after 9 films, what was I supposed to get?
Yeah.
What's the... Okay, like, I mean, if you were to sit there and marathon all 9, I feel like you would then be like, I should have checked out 9 hours ago in episode 6. Like,
Yep.
you know, so it's, anyways. But I wanted to pick your brain because I think it's, you know, again, like I said, I'm excited that you are starting a Star Wars podcast and give people a preview of the approach that you take it, because you are pro. I mean, you are generally you carry positive feelings towards the entertainment world. You're not the guy who's out there bashing everything because it sucks.
I have a hard time bashing things. I really do, because I understand how hard it is to write and act and make a movie, and a lot of people put in a lot of work to do that. And sometimes it just doesn't come out the way it was supposed to. That's just how things are.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you should bash it. I'd say the only movie I'd actually bash, they lost me on Transformers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
yep.
The first three I was okay with. The first 3 I was fine. You know, and that may be because I'm a Shia LaBeouf fan. I don't know. I thought I was a Mark Wahlberg fan.
You're like, you get that money, dude.
I don't think I am a Mark Wahlberg fan.
Yeah.
And if Transformers where I realized it, good. Because now I know.
It's finally over.
Yeah. It's just, I didn't get it. Like, it's just like, it just didn't seem, it seemed like phoned in.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, I just bought a truck. I think it's a Transformer. I have a hot daughter. We don't know where the mom is. My best friend, but I'm gonna leave him when he dies. I don't. Yeah, it's just I didn't care. And Michael Bay, I'm not taking anything away from him. A great director. In past movies, he's given us really cinematic, dramatic things where we have time to focus on. But I feel like Transformers, everything happens so fast that when a Transformer died, or blew up, or destroyed, or unplugged, whatever you want to call it. There was no time. There was no time to mourn that. Like, I mean, Ironside was a huge. It's Optimus Prime's right-hand man.
Yeah.
And in the third movie, he gets shot up, and like before that, we're already on the chase scene. I was like, we don't get to mourn him. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with it.
Yeah, you almost go like, oh, maybe that wasn't even the character I thought it was.
That is some people's favorite Transformer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, everyone's got a favorite, like out of the group, but like. Jazz in the first one, they like that was sad, and they even like they did a moment for him and all that stuff. But for this one, like Ironside was like the little slow motion scene, him getting shot and blown up, falling down, whatever, and then there's just and they just keep going, and just like I think I'm saying Ironside, I think it's Ironhide, but it's one of the two. I'm not a Transformer fan, so
yeah, I'm not.
For you Transformer fans, I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering the name. They're like, okay. Leonardo, Donatella, get me back. All right, but it's just he wasn't given enough time for people to mourn these things, and then what I really was upset about the Transformer movies is the trailers looked fantastic.
Oh yeah,
they brought that emotion in. They got you amped up. They made you like hair on the back of your neck stick up, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be good. And so I hated the first Mark Wahlberg one, number 4.
Yeah.
And I saw the trailer for number 5. I was like, oh, maybe they fixed it.
Yeah.
And then I go see it, and I'm like...
And 5 is the last night? Is that... Or something like that?
Sure. I don't know. Yeah. And then...
Is there a time travel or something element to it?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, no, it's just that there's like a montage or something in the beginning of them like back in the Crusade days or something.
I just didn't care for it so much.
Yeah.
And then the final one, I saw the trailer and I was like, this looks epic. Hated it from the first 5 minutes on.
Oh.
And I just sat there, and I'm the type of I won't walk out of the movie. I'm gonna look for the good.
Yeah.
And the good thing about that is they still got my money. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I try to look for good for everything. So Star Wars, I found there's a lot of things I liked. It may not have gone the way I thought it was going to go. I'm also the type of person that it's not going to get mad because it didn't go the way I'd want it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the writer. They didn't pay me to do it.
Yeah.
It's the first 3 movies, the original 3 movies, didn't go the way I wanted. Yeah. They were great, but I was a kid and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Luke lost his hair?
Yeah.
And his dad did it? And his dad did it? And he knew it was his dad, he still did it. Yeah, it's just like and Darth Vader's hanging out with this old ugly guy. You know, but it didn't go the way I wanted, but it's still a fucking masterpiece. Where this one, so okay, it may not go the way I wouldn't call these 3 masterpieces, but it didn't go the way I wanted it to. But at the same time, I don't have any say in it. So, but my understanding of the TV shows that reboot, and all the movies that reboot are not for me. They're for the next generation. Yeah. I kind of go with that same mentality, even though I know this is supposed to be for me. I just go, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna zone out. I'm just gonna take it for what it is.
Yeah.
And that way, I may not like things, but I don't get mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I have other friends who are like, they're absolutely furious.
Yeah.
And they're like, even if they make more Star Wars, I won't watch it.
I just walked away being like, you know, like I definitely didn't. I wasn't gonna pretend that like, oh, you know, like that's exactly how I would have done it, or like I definitely wasn't gonna pretend like I knew all along Emperor was coming back, but. I walked out of there being like, well, I wanted to see a space opera. Yeah. That was a fucking space opera times 10. You know what I mean? Like, that is a hell of a way to end a story as far as the emotions that you will feel if you allow yourself to feel them during that 2.5 hours. It's just, you know, it's just kind of one of those things where I think the thing that there's a debate about afterwards is what you thought you'd be left with to feel over the course of time after these were all done. It's kind of like, you know, because I felt similar to this when Game of Thrones ended, because I felt like I was part of this massive fandom, and then the series is over, and everybody's just like, what else is there? Yeah. You know, like, they I mean, cold shoulder. No celebration. You know, and you could say that is because it wasn't earned, but... Yeah.
And just a little tidbit about the podcast show in the works. There's no title for it as of right now, but it's not just going to be few people talking about Star Wars, just our thoughts on Star Wars and everything. I mean, there'll be a lot of that. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of that. And we're not focusing on the movies. It's going to be essentially a book club where we all read canon books that are out.
That's right.
And about characters and all this stuff that's not shown in the movies. And then we get together and we talk about that.
Have you read Lost Stars?
I haven't. Okay, so I haven't read any of them because we're waiting to read together. Okay. I have like 6 books just sitting waiting for me to read, but we're waiting to get this, and then we're going to read them because we want to read them at the same time. Okay. Because we don't want to have anybody who's read them all and just... Yeah. Because the part of the show is the process of us. Because also, if someone's didn't finish the book, maybe we get to give them shit. Yeah. Or like they have to hear it now, but they still have to finish the book. Like but yeah, it's. But the thing is too, one of our friends who's a huge Star Wars fan. He's actually born on May 4th. Oh wow. His dad is one of the 501st. And,
really?
Yeah, one of the bigger guys too. Like he's met George Lucas. He's been asked. He's known as like the Boba Fett. George Lucas in the past has used him for Boba Fett. Very cool. For not in movies, but for like events and stuff like that. Yeah. He doesn't do a lot of the cosplaying anymore as much, but you know that you're able to retire from certain things. So not that he's out of Star Wars, but and he makes a lot of the costumes and the cosplay designs. Is really dope. But yeah, he grew up around Star Wars. His dad probably loved Star Wars as much, if not just a little bit more, than his own kid. But it's always been a part of his life. So for him, he wants to be on the show and a host on the show and be part of it. But just to commit himself to reading about more Star Wars. Yeah. It's just kind of a bit much for him. So now the show's kind of turned into like a book club where 3 or 4 of us, I don't even know how really people, we haven't got full commitments in some people, are going to be discussing it, and we're just going to be telling him what we read. Yeah. Which is just ridiculous. The show is just like one guy being told about Star Wars books. Yeah. And then his comments on it.
There needs to be, well, you can add like, maybe you can add some element where, maybe he guesses like where it's gonna go. If he gets it wrong, then he has to. Are you guys bringing? I know that a lot of the podcasts you do have like maybe a drinking element.
Oh, I don't. We'll probably be drinking on the show. Yeah. I don't think they're. Yeah, a lot of the shows it's getting kind of odd where it's like a lot of the shows we do are like we introduce a new beer each episode.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of my friends and the people that are in the podcast, like we beer enthusiasts. So it's something like, hey, we could talk about anything, but we also want to tell you about this new thing we just found right over whatever brewery, whatever. It's a beautiful IPA, hoppy, blah, blah, blah. We talk that. So, but yeah, so there'll probably be drinking, but it won't be a beer focused show.
Okay.
So and now
there should be stakes for this guy.
Yeah, we got to figure format's still in the works, title's still in the works, but the idea is that we're going to be a book club reading only Star Wars books.
That'd be cool.
And then discussing it where one guy he's just going to be, all right, okay. And it's just the idea of just 3 or 4 people describing the story. That it's not going to, we're all going to interpret things differently or like have different ideas on certain things. So it's just going to be like, well, I like your part of this. He gets to just like mold which one he likes, or you can just hate it because we're going to describe it horribly.
Yeah.
So it's we'll talk. I'm sure there'll be plenty of time to talk about actual movies and all the Star Wars.
Well, I've got one for you to borrow or to add to your list. Lost Stars. It's actually, speaking of understanding when something's not necessarily made for you but still appreciating it, it's actually a younger reader's novel. Like it's almost like the Twilight of the Star Wars world, but that might be a horrible way to endorse a book as far as trying to convince people to give it a shot. But
I understand where you get. Yeah, it's not like if you like Twilight, it's just like that. No, it's the reading style.
It's that kind of an impact on the, as far as like its potential to be widespread.
I see what you're saying.
as part of the something that people are able to constantly point to as something that is a great piece of canon.
Gotcha.
Because it's like this massive road trip novel that it follows these 2 younger characters as they grow up in this Star Wars world where they are kind of occasionally maybe in the vicinity of something that you've already seen in Star Wars canon taking place, and you're like, oh, and you can kind of like be like, so this is happening right during A New Hope, kind of a thing, blah, blah. So it's really fun, but it is absolutely its own story. It is so well balanced as far as just having a few these hints and references to the world you already know, and then it just builds properly.
I think I know exactly what you mean. That's what I'm excited about reading a lot of these books is like, because I know where they at story-wise based on who they're about, but being able to see what the author does to exactly tell you what time. I'm excited for this.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that podcast, man. You, like you said, that one is in the works.
It's on the way.
Now the Retox, is that coming back? I
hope so.
I keep getting excited.
I know. You and me both, brother. It just 3 different lives, 3 different towns.
COVID obviously fucks everything
That didn't
up.
help. Yeah. 2 of us have kids. Another one's still living that single life, so we understand. Good for him. Oh, no, he's not single anymore.
Ooh.
So that childless life. Extra freedoms. Yeah. But no, it's just a lot of priorities took a hold. But we did a video not too long ago.
Yeah.
A 2-parter.
Yeah.
It was one night, but it was so long that we divided it up. It was just our way of catching up, hanging out. It wasn't really a Retox thing. It was just the 3 of us. It was just a way for us to catch up, but also kind of in this this kind of downer situation we're all living in.
Yeah.
It was just, we were trying to pick people's spirits up.
Oh, yeah.
And we're crude, and this is our way of being able to vent and be adults. Like I said, we have kids, we have professional jobs. But when the 3 of us get together, it's not for everybody. It's rated R stuff. But yeah, the Retox podcast, even our old episodes, with headphones in.
Yes.
Headphones in. Even if you're home alone, you don't know who will come in. But it's not for kids. Listen to it at work all you want, but headphones.
But it is fantastic.
Yeah, we had fun doing it, and it's something I want to come back. We've talked about it because that video did pretty good.
Yeah.
We did better
I'd
than
say
we
you
thought.
guys, I'd say people would be very, very excited to find out that show was back.
And we've played with it, but all of a sudden, like you said, with COVID, and we have a lot of things on individual plates. Danny and I starting another podcast.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into in a second here. But it's something I hope we get back on.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect. Yeah, exactly. That is the perfect segue. So Retalks is something that, of course, is hopefully in the works.
Coming back and another rebreath of life.
Yeah.
Another breath of life.
And at the very least, the same crew would be showing up, or at least two of the three.
Two of the three.
Jay maybe occasionally or something might.
Well, this next one is fantasy football.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that is
so
what that
Jay
was.
doesn't care about sports at all.
Oh, okay.
So if Jay came on the show, it would just be literally for the beer aspect, and then you wouldn't hear from him. Or he would just correct us on
It'd
how
be
to
like the
pronounce
Star Wars podcast, except that guy, by the time you were done talking, he'd be like, I still don't give a shit.
Yeah. So he'd be so bored. But we've been in fantasy football. We've been doing fantasy football for a long time, and two of my friends, Danny included, who was a co-host on the Retalks, a friend of ours wanted to do a fantasy football podcast. So we started talking. We've been talking about it for over a year now, and we just recorded our first episode last week. The show's called Drafted, but it's spelt like draft the beer, like on draft. Because we also feature new beers each episode.
Yeah.
And one thing that is a little different than the Retalks, we all drink the same beer, where in this one we're all bringing different beers. Because we're actually not even... This first episode, we actually decided to be in the same room and record. But just because it's our first episode. But ideally, because of COVID and the fact that we live in 3 different cities, we're going to be separate.
Yeah.
So ideally, us getting all the same beer might be hard sometimes.
But when it does start rolling, it's going to be a weekly podcast.
Yeah, first episode I think drops this weekend.
And this is regardless of whether or not they decide to bring the seasons back. You guys are.
What do you mean?
I mean, not the seasons back, but I mean the fact that your podcast isn't going to be delayed just because the preseason was canceled, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was canceled. It was canceled, but football looks like it's happening.
Okay. I haven't actually followed that enough to.
This is the worst season to start it. This podcast,
really,
but it's been in the making for over a year now.
Yeah.
We've been formatting it while while doing fantasy football last year and keep. So we decided it was going to be this year. Then COVID happened. Then there's possibility of no season, which it's going to happen. There's going to be football. They want their money. They want their games.
They're just it'll be like baseball where there's just nobody in the.
Oh yeah, there's going to be no fans.
Stands and all that. Kind
they
of
want
stuff.
fans because they want money, but they shouldn't.
Yeah. Well, we'll just end up probably having to pay to stream the games.
Oh yeah.
It's not going to be free on.
Yeah, Red Zone's going to be way more expensive.
Oh shit! Yeah, no.
And there's going to be way more commercials. Games are going to be 6 hours long. They're actually not even going to call Monday anymore. It's just going to be Sunday 2.
Yeah.
Just for more Sunday football.
Carries over.
We're actually going to get another day of the week. Monday is not going to be Tuesday. It's just shifting one day because you're still going to have Monday night football.
America would do that for football.
Yeah. Oh, we would. Yeah.
We would totally fuck with the calendar.
I mean,
to make sure that this worked out.
The Beatles started it with that song 8 days a week, but so they've been prepping it for a while.
Wow.
It's all a conspiracy. COVID was made. No, I'm not getting into that. But no, yeah. So it's a show Drafted. It's just 3 fantasy football players. We're not statisticians. We aren't. I don't even know if that's a word. That's how you know we're not. So we're not professional fantasy football players.
In your defense, I think it is a word. But.
Cool. Good.
Wait, what did you say?
Statistician?
Oh, oops, no.
Like a statistician?
Statistician, I think, or something, right?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, God damn it.
Because I'm not one. We're not professionals in any manner when it comes to fantasy football.
Statistician or statistician?
The stats people.
Because it's a statistics-ition, right?
Wouldn't know.
Oh, no.
We'll Google it later.
Okay.
But we're not professional fantasy football players. We're not going to give you advice we intend you to use. We are average fantasy football players just like everybody else. And it's for them to listen to. It's like we've heard what the professional people think.
Right.
You know, like Fantasy Football Focus, that
Yeah.
podcast. You know, it's like they've given you like what their thoughts and who you should pick, blah blah. And we're going to talk about like, I did that, and he decided to roll his ankle. You know, like
Yeah.
well, God forbid anybody gets injured, but like we're going to talk about the outcomes of the week and how that didn't work, or
Yeah.
good thing I got that. And we're gonna be using our leagues as reference, and we're gonna be having people hopefully contact us about their leagues and discuss situations that happen to them.
Nice.
And so it's just three guys drinking beers talking about fantasy football, not football, just football, fantasy football.
Yeah.
So it's just which is even because it's weirder. We're gonna
awesome.
we're gonna talk about fake teams.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about fake teams that we're managing, hopefully good.
Yeah.
But probably not.
Wow. So and that's spelled DRAUGHTED. There we go. Drafted. It's funny you said like spelled like draft beer.
Yeah.
But I think I don't go to bars very often, but I feel like they spell it DRAFT.
Some do. Some also spell it the other way.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have even known that.
Yeah, it's just really whoever has the chalk.
Yeah. When I first saw it on when you posted about it,
Yeah.
I understood. Like it was like, oh, I get it that I am the one who never realized this was a word.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But I definitely did not know before this moment.
It's beer and football. You draft both.
Yeah.
So
that's cool,
yeah.
man.
So yeah, we're excited. I believe the first episode drops this weekend.
Okay.
I don't want to give a specific day because I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that's okay. And
Yeah.
this might not come out until at least Monday or something anyways. Also.
Okay, cool.
So
It might be out.
So the episode might be out, so you go
Yeah.
ahead and follow them on Instagram.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's at Drafted Podcast for Facebook and Instagram. And then Twitter, it was too long, so it's just at Drafted P.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, why'd they have to? Yeah, but that makes sense.
But we put podcast, but then just cut the P. We're like, you do you, Twitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, at Drafted Podcast or at Drafted P. Go ahead and give us a follow. First episode will be up pretty soon.
Or may already be up.
Or yeah, by the time this comes out, it might be up. We're excited about it. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, that does sound like a fun podcast, man. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like I said, a year in the making.
Yeah.
Over a year in the making.
Yeah. That's cool, man, that you're not letting any of this stuff get in the way and that you're actually, just pushing through and starting to produce more and more content and stuff too. That's really exciting. Speaking of that, you and I have some plans.
Yes, we do.
That's something that we got into before we ended up, you got moved to that other office, but I did want to kind of give people a little bit of your background. So you have a background as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
As far as anybody that I know, you definitely have the most. You have a legitimate resume, right? I mean, I would say
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would say that too. I mean, what do you feel? If you had to pick one, or do you feel like you are a writer, an actor, I'm sure this is probably not one, but I know some people, they just consider themselves like a thespian kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because I know you started out doing a lot of stage stuff, right?
Yeah. I did a lot of theater and with theater classes and theater.
So do you?
theater.
I mean, what do you feel like your bread and butter is in this?
Acting.
Acting. Okay.
That's the first goal.
Okay.
That's the first direction. I got way more into writing because it got to the point where I wanted to. It's kind of selfish. Like I wanted to write things that I saw myself, like things I wanted to play in.
Yeah.
And things I thought, I would do good in, or things people would like that I would also like to put myself. And it's not always just the main character. Like a lot of times I'm side characters or supporting roles. And, so it's just things I would like to watch, but also be in. Granted, a lot of them are just writings, just scripts writings, and maybe like ones I've never even gone back to.
Yeah.
Just on my laptop. But and then I've produced a film that which is a different element altogether. Way more time management, way more finances and like making sure things. I've never. No, not true. I directed a film in a film class, and that was a different element too. Acting is my thing. I enjoy reading a new script from someone handing me a script, me taking some time to myself, going and reading it, really seeing it, for what it is and like the potential that it may have. I don't really. So a lot of people will tell me focus on this character or look at this character.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of don't like that at first because I kind of like reading it for what it is, and then as I'm reading it, the possibility of me playing this character, or what I would do with that character, how I see this character, or whatever. And then when they tell me, well, this is the one we're thinking about, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So that way I'm not giving, I don't want to be like, this is the one I want you to do, and then they go, oh.
Yeah.
I don't like this character more than that character. Whereas, so when I read it, I build all the characters up.
Okay.
I make, I see their potential and why they're written this way and why they're who they are in this story. And then I can see myself in that role.
Right on.
Rather than just like focus on this character and then me end up, okay, now I'm focusing too much on this character.
Okay.
I'm not giving enough credit, or I'm downplaying the person. I'm being too hard on the character.
Yeah.
So it's a fun thing, and then bringing the character to life with the crew. It's fun.
I can see how that will, the way that you approach that, because the projects that we have in mind, you are writing the scripts for these, but I can see how that would then benefit the writing process. Is if you kind of kept that mentality as you're writing, where you're really trying to make sure that these characters all matter. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because you're like, all of these characters are people who, and it's not really. Maybe I'm going to make it sound more selfish than it is actually, but really it's so that you can craft a really clever story and have characters that you care about to imagine yourself playing them and what that would be like in this, this version in your head of like this Oscar-worthy performance that you would give this person. Well, you got to give them the dialogue before they could get away with saying it, right?
And and that's just it too, because like writing roles for myself, I don't want to be pretentious enough to write my character to be the main focus or like the important. I'll make myself a supporting role because when I think about writing it, if there's a character involved, why? Why is this character in here? How are they important to the story? How are they going to move along? How are people going to react to it? How should they come off? I want every character should be ideally perfect. So like there's a reason why that character is not. It's never like, oh, we'll just put someone right here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you could start this. Like, there will be someone right here. I haven't developed this character yet, but the character deserves to be developed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to write a script and be just like, okay, well, I'm the main character, and everything happens to me or is around me. The other people will just
That's how you get the straight to DVD action films.
And I don't care. I want
excuse for this to happen. I need an excuse for this to happen. It's like, well, no, you needed a story, and then all of this stuff would just fall into line.
And if I do play a main character of something, right, it's that character is held up by every supporting role.
Cool.
It should be.
Cool, man.
That's the way I see it. I don't know if it'll come out that way.
Yeah. Hey, well, we'll see. I mean, I don't have any experience in any of this. I've invested in...
Oh, it's going to be fun.
I've gotten some camera equipment together. It's been fun to kind of learn this editing stuff. But it is going to be...
It's work.
An undertaking.
No,
it is going to be some
work, but if it's done right, it doesn't feel like it. You'll feel tired.
Oh, yeah.
If you do it right. But at the same time, it's...
And right now, I mean, obviously, I guess, I mean, it is kind of a weird thing to bring up on a podcast because we probably don't, we don't have tons of details to go into with but then even if we did, maybe we would want to keep a lot of them close to the vest anyway. So, but the point is that
we got stuff coming.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get people excited about is that we are, well, like I said, you have history and background in this. I'm starting to kind of dip my toes into it, and you're letting me play along with this stuff. And
I'm prepping for the role as we speak. Look at my face. Look at my hair.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Everyone's just like quarantine. I'm like, kind of.
Yeah. the consequences of quarantine.
Yeah. Everyone's like, I thought you weren't growing your hair out again. I was like, oh, I wasn't.
Yeah. So it's an exciting story that we're working on. Might bring this up occasionally throughout the podcast. That we're definitely interested in hearing from people who have either acted before or might be interested in acting or have some experience with editing or camera operation, all that kind of stuff. We welcome anybody who is like, hey man, I don't have anything to do during this quarantine. This is something that we're really, honestly, if you're going to make a good film, you can't just go out guerrilla style and just hope that like you're gonna luck out and make the Blair Witch Project or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, even those guys probably planned that movie.
Yeah.
You can't just expect that. Well, my story will be that I didn't give a fuck and I still made the best movie of all time. That's not.
Yeah, I mean,
can't.
Paranormal Activity was only made with like $15,000,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason why, but I would assume that the reason why that was still a good, impactful movie is because that $15,000 wasn't squandered on like one effect shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was still, they planned the movie out, something that we're gonna, we need to do ourselves, and we would love to have some help with, because we need to find locations to shoot at. We need help with costumes.
I'm a big believer. Everyone has their first movie.
Yeah.
Everyone has their first.
Yeah.
There isn't just like, well, I don't have any experience. Well, yeah. If you haven't done it before, I had my first movie.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be. I love having new people on. The only thing I ask for is commitment and follow through.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, like, with anything.
Yeah.
With anything, like if you've been passionate about film and you've something you think you need to do, come. If you want to help, contact Andrew here, and we can talk and everything. And then also, day one you turn out it's not for you. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's
we're still friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries. It's just if you keep saying you're going to be somewhere, you got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
We unfortunately, to make a film, you got to count on people.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is that's one of the biggest things, is especially low budget, filmmaking on your own, is it's going to be a shit show just to get the 9 or 10 people that day to show up together. Yeah. If that 10th guy doesn't show up and ruins that day for everybody.
Oh, I've been part of many a project where's this person? Oh, they're not coming anymore. Oh, you mean the person we've already shot in numerous amounts of film?
Yeah.
So people on camera people, cast members. It's just like, so what are we gonna do? Write them out. How are you gonna write them out? We're just gonna say, oh, they're dead. Oh, cool. So it happened. I was in one movie where there was this young guy and he dyed his hair halfway through the shoot.
Fuck.
And movies are not shot
in order.
In any like the time frame, like the beginning to any time. It's however location based. Yeah. If we can get this location, it's towards the end. That's what we're gonna shoot right then.
Yeah.
So his hair in the final project, from what I heard, I haven't seen it because a lot of people, they'll shoot something and it never comes out. And unfortunately, I'm as of right now, I'm part of that. But I'm just the film I produced. It just needs some extra little tender love and polishing, but it's gonna go. But I'm not trying to give them shit. If they didn't like the movie and they don't want to put it out, it's their movie.
Yeah.
They don't want to put it out, they don't have to put it out.
Yeah.
It's fine. I did my job. It's already done.
Yeah.
But from what I heard, the kid's hair, it goes back from regular color to blue to back to color and blue, whatever. And they actually had to edit a line in where they just put in, it's like, yeah, I always change my hair. Or, oh, he always changes his hair. No, well, that's shitty. I think the kid also actually got hit by a car at some point.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So all of a sudden there's just scabs on his face. Yeah, I mean, but that's not something you could, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
But no, things like that happen. It's just one of those things. Like once we start, I can't cut my hair.
Yeah.
I can't shave. I will trim my beard to what it is, but.
Yeah, so we're gonna run into a lot of little things like that, I'm sure, but. But yeah, man, I wanted to bring you on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
First of all,
Thanks
just to hang out, because I hadn't seen you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And even when we did get to hang out in the office, we had to freaking act like super guilty the entire time that we were ever even having any of those discussions.
I would stop for you for 45 minutes and then go on my 30-minute break lunch.
Hey, man. But the thing is did we ever have work?
No, the only reason why we were talking is because we were done.
Yeah, exactly.
I never had a deadline where they're like, you didn't finish something.
Yeah. So we're just trying to be productive. We can't freaking figure out how to do it in the office. We'll figure out how to do it out of the office. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, I'm glad that you came on.
Thanks for having me.
Wanted to give people a little bit of your background, especially so that I can have you on again and we can just kind of cut right to just talking shit about whatever's going on during the week. Want to let people know about the podcasts that you're doing and the ones that are coming around the corner. And obviously introduce to people that, hey, we made a couple of Instagram posts and stuff a while back, but obviously then COVID happened and nobody has any idea whether or not any of these anybody's productions are going to happen anymore or anything like that. Hollywood's apparently all going to shit. Everybody's leaving or getting in trouble.
Everyone's in trouble.
Yeah.
If you're famous right now, you're in trouble. Even if you're innocent, stop
it.
Stop it.
And but yeah, man, I had a good time. It's getting late here on a Friday. I know you got some stuff to do.
No.
But yeah, man, I had a blast. Can't wait to have you on here again. It's drafted. You said it was drafted.
At Drafted Podcast. Yeah.
Drafted Podcast on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Drafted P on Twitter.
Yeah. Then there's also the Retox Podcast if it comes back.
That's right. Yep.
And it's just at the Retox Podcast. Retox Podcast. I can't talk now.
And then people can find you.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I have an @ for Facebook, but I guess it's just Derek.
No, I guess
Derek
not.
Johns, and then at the Derek Johns for Instagram and I think Twitter as well.
Yeah.
So,
at the Derek Johns on Instagram and Twitter. Super funny dude, man. You're always cracking jokes and stuff. And yeah, man, like I said, can't wait to have you on here again. And let's scarf a couple of these fucking donuts and get our weekend started, man. Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you guys. Talk to you later.
Have a good one.
Bless you, Funbridge.